Hello and welcome back. My name is Cannon Cash and I'm with Strive to the Finish. And I'm just going to go ahead and apologize. You guys are going to hear a lot of cars in this video because it has rained a whole bunch. I don't know if you can see, but everything is soaked. And I'm on my screened-in porch at my granddad's filming, and the road's right there. So you're going to hear a lot of traffic. So I'm going to try to talk more loudly. Anyway, let's jump right in. So today's video is going to be about things that preppers, and I'm not going to call myself a prepper. You know, I'm not. I'm barely an outdoorsman, you know, but things that, hold on. I swear. Okay, hopefully you guys can hear me. There's things that people, whenever they're kind of preparing for let's say you live in an area like I do that gets rain, okay, and you get tornadoes, okay? I live in Kentucky. We get tornadoes once a year, you know? Not bad ones, but we do get severe storms where multiple times a year we'll have the power go out. We'll have things where sometimes we will have to, go to the basement just for safety, you know? I know the year I was born, we had a really bad one go through and stuff, and I was just a baby, and my mom had to go down in the basement and stuff, cause it was terrifying, and I was just a baby, so I don't remember it. But so the first thing is going to be if you have pets. Like I have 2 cats, and I have 1 dog, and I have 2 guinea pigs. Okay, and then I have some chickens. I call them pets. They're just, I call them pets. So first thing, dogs. Dogs will eat just about anything, okay? It's not advised, they shouldn't eat just about anything, but if they had to, if you were hunkered down, for, I don't know, 2 days or whatever, and you have whatever you have in your kind of like stockpile room, they can eat it. My dog, no joke, my dog has ate motor oil before. He's still fine, he's still kicking. But yeah, so you can't, but you do want to, if you can't, you still want to stockpile, at least a bag of food, at least 1 bag of food you just want to keep, just in case, Same thing with cats. Cats, the thing about cats, they can hunt. Dogs, they can hunt. They're, where I live, what is a dog gonna hunt? And my dog doesn't know how to hunt. He's not like a squirrel dog, you know what I'm saying? He's just gonna he just thinks deer are pretty. He's gonna chase them. He doesn't know he's supposed to eat them, But like cats, they can, hunt rabbits. We have a lot of rabbits in my backyard, squirrels, birds, But same thing, like the opposite of dogs, you can put some, steak in front of them. They're not going to eat that. They're just going to look up at you like, are you dumb? So like, my cats are indoor cats, So like, they've never hunted anything. So you definitely want to keep more food for cats than you do dogs, Dogs, you do want to keep food, but it's not exactly mandatory. Cats, it pretty much is. So with guinea pigs are just cute. That's all there is to it. They're just cute. They don't know what's going on. They just kind of cute. They just kind of cute, So you definitely want to stockpile on food for them. So that's the first thing. And I'm going to wait because I just heard a whole bunch of traffic. Like, it's starting to come, so I'm going to turn the camera off and then get it back on whenever this traffic is past. Thanks. Alrighty, I think the majority of the traffic is passed by, so we'll just have to see. The next thing that I want to talk about is work gloves. Okay, so like, this isn't something exactly like weather related, you still, like, it's, winter gloves you're going to, if like a snowstorm or whatever, and your heat goes out. Hold on. Okay. But like let's say, you know, the day after the storm, you know, and like still everything's closed down, but let's say, you know, like a tree or something fell on, you know, like your house, something, and you know, like you gotta move, you know, you have to move that quick, you know, or things are gonna get worse, you know, or just limbs down in your yard, you know, and like someone needs to get to you, like my grandmother, she lives up on a hill, you know, and there's like just a little, you know, gravel road that goes up the hill, and if it, you know, trees fall down over that road all the time, you know. I just cut one, you know, for her the other week, so, you know, like let's say you know, there was a storm, she needed help, you know, she couldn't get off the hill, you know, you know, a saw, you know, that's something else that I thought of while we're talking about the saws, you know, or something, especially for me, you know, stuff like that. The next thing, these were kind of two things in one. If we're going off, you know, like in your, you know, like severe storm related again, you know, and like 3-4 days, you know, you're without power, which has happened, you know, to me and stuff, and like water, board games, and just like chocolates, you know, or like hard candies, just something like I guess you call it like a morale booster, you know, like who doesn't want some good Hershey's chocolate, you know, or a good like a lemon head, you know, and like board games, checkers, Monopoly, chess, Candyland, Clue, there's hundreds of different board games, you know, hundreds. You need to go to Barnes and Nobles and just kind of just look. It's unholy how many board games they have. But yeah, you know, that's kind of two things in one. Also make sure, you know, this isn't something that people forget, but you know, just make sure you have like lanterns so you can play those board games. Have you ever tried to play Monopoly in the dark? Have you ever tried to play Monopoly in light? It doesn't work. Okay, I've never finished a game of Monopoly. I just can't do that. So yeah, so I hear more traffic, so I'm going to shut the camera off for a minute and then wait, and then we'll see. Thanks. Alrighty, so, oh my gosh. So the next thing, I'm just gonna talk really loud. The next thing is like toiletries and stuff. Just like little like amenities, you know, like if you go to like a hotel and stuff, you know, just ask for like, you know, like those little like soaps, just any type, you know, like the little stuff that they give out. Like I think I've seen like little sewing kits, little like, you know, like towels, just, you know, ask for that and stuff and they'll just give it to you. And that is something that's really, you know, handy that people do think about, you know, like people think about like baby wipes, you know, stuff like that. But yeah, just think about, you know, just stuff like that. Just little tiny things, you know, and they're free. I mean, the maid is not going to hand you a slipper, you know, an Andrew Jackson, you know. Yeah, just ask for little things like that. Because, again, if we're going off, you know, like, things just to make you, you know, like a little morale booster, you know? Just like, you know, just like a little bar soap, you know? And, like, if you don't have water, that's fine, you know. Water is something that people, you know, like to stockpile. I do too. You know, you know, you want to have like about a gallon a day for each person, and that includes drinking. That includes, you know, maybe just like a shot glass, you know, or, you know, like a little bit more than a shot glass to brush your teeth in the morning, you know. That includes cooking, you know, how much you have to cook. So, you know, just take like a cup, you know, water and stuff, just kind of dump it over your head, you know, just kind of, you know, clean up a little. Take some baby wipes, you know, just kind of clean up. Because I'm one of those people that cannot go to sleep if I feel dirty, you know? Like if I haven't taken a shower right before I go to bed, you know, I can't go to sleep. If I just, you know, I just have to feel, you know, nice and clean, you know, just nice and clean, you know? So, yeah, I think that, let's see, how many was that? So 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that was 4 that I did. I might do one more, I think, yeah. Kind of going off the same thing as pet stuff, pee pads, you know, because you're not going to really be able to walk your dog, you know, if there's storms, you know, probably not. So, and they kind of have to go. So, you kind of have to, you know, let them go inside, you know, like just for that storm and stuff. And like, depending on if the world ends tomorrow, you know, you're gonna want some extra like flea pills, you know, for your dog, flea and tick, heartworm, stuff like that. Let's see. Trying to just think. I swear. Okay. I think that was 5. I'm not sure. I'm gonna like go back and review the tapes to see. Thanks. Okay, so I'm gonna do 2 more that I thought of. First thing is duct tape and like a WD-40, PB blaster, stuff like that. Cause you know, you can't get enough duct tape really, and like zip ties. I like zip ties more than duct tape. I will admit, I'm a big zip tie guy. Just stuff like that. Just like, you know, kind of repair, you know, just like little repairs. And the other thing is like glasses, like eyeglasses, contact solution, contacts, stuff like that. Cause I used to be like it wasn't lazy-eyed, I forget what you call it, but I had to go to eye therapy for many years. And I just like finished wearing glasses, you know, to kind of keep that up. And now I wear glasses because I'm nearsighted, which means I can see far away, but not very good. So I wear glasses sometimes, you know, for that. I have broken about, I don't even know how many pairs, I've probably 30 pairs of glasses in my life I've broken. That's something that I just kind of thought of the other day. I'm like, you know, if something were to happen, I broke my glasses and I can't get any, I'm just gonna have to do a lot of walking to make sure I, you know, like, or have binoculars or something, you know? Also, I thought of something, braces. I have braces. So, I've broken, I'm filming this in June, okay? June the 6th, D-Day. So, last June, like June 16th or something, I got these braces. And I've broken, I think, 8 brackets since then. I've broken a lot of brackets. And, you know, it doesn't hurt, but it's pretty uncomfortable, you know? And you're not going to need braces your whole life. So, if, you know, in light of a storm happens, you're going to be able to get a bracket fix, you know, like next week, next month, whatever. But if if we're going off into the world, you know, then you're going to want to either kidnap an orthodontist and just kind of keep them next to you, you know, or you're going to want to just get these braces off, you know. And I was thinking the other day, I would love to see like a Walking Dead style show, you know, like zombie apocalypse, you know, not zombie, you know, just like end of the world, where the plot is, the guy is trying to find orthodontist to get his braces off, you know, because like that's a real world thing, you know, like if the world ends, you know, we had a nuclear grid down, you know, that's going to be something really big for me and a lot of people. So I guess that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys were able to hear me. That's another thing. And hopefully next time I film, I won't be in a porch or, you know, under a porch listening to that stuff. So anyway, thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. And also YouTube, thank you for not striking my last couple videos. Please don't start now. What's going on, YouTube?